Welcome back, everybody. Well, this is barbecue season when so many of us, especially myself, like to indulge in that outdoor fare. All right, but this can be an unhealthy venture, not just because you eat too much. And Olivia Rose, naturopath, a regular guest on our show, is here to explain why. This is pretty serious stuff, and stuff that most people would never even think of.
It's true. So we have good news and we have bad news. So I'll start with the bad news. The bad news is that when you barbecue, you produce chemicals. These two chemicals, one is called heterocyclic amines, the other is called polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Very long scientific words, but these two chemicals are cancer producing. So they increase your risk for breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, stomach cancer.
Is this because of the meat, or is this because of the source of the cooking, the barbecue itself?
So it's a combination. So when the flames hit the meat, there's a chemical reaction that takes place, and the amino acids in the meat break down to form one of the compounds, and with the other one, when the flames hit the fat surrounding the meat, you get the formation of the other compound. And so they sort of coat the meat and create problems when they're ingested with your cells.
So what do people do? How can you sort of stave off the
good news, right? So you can create a marinade. When you marinate your steak, so by putting oils, an acid, so you can use grapeseed oil, then you can use lemon juice or vinegar or wine, and then you can use, whatever seasonings you want. But when you add in these specific herbs and spices, they have high in antioxidant qualities that will sort of form a layer, a barrier between the heat and flames and the meat. So they actually can reduce the formation of these toxic chemicals by up to 99%.
Let's start with some of them.
Okay, so the first one, we got turmeric. So on top of them all being antioxidants, they each have their own specific qualities. So turmeric is anti-cancer, so it slows the growth of cancer cells, and it's also awesome for preventing your risk for Alzheimer's disease.
And it tastes good.
Which is great. Yeah, it's great. And then we have thyme. So thyme is high in vitamin C, and historically has been used for chest congestion, bronchitis, that kind of thing. It's also high in antioxidants. And then we have oregano. Oregano, as we know, we use oregano oil during cold and flu season. And oregano is also really antioxidant as well. And then we have basil. So basil is one that we use in pesto all the time. We throw in our salads, but basil's high in vitamin K, important for blood clotting, but it's also a really potent anti-inflammatory. So that means it's similar in fact to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that you can buy over the counter to help with arthritis and any pain and swelling in your body. Basil's actually awesome for that.
So what do you recommend? You basically put this in the marinade, let it...
let it sit. You want to let your meat sit for 10 minutes or more. If you're doing fish, you can have it sit for less time.
I guess with steak, the longer the better.
The longer the better. Yeah, it could be overnight if you want. If you're going to go picnicking the next day, you let it sit overnight, and then everything can soak in, so it can have its effect.
Is steak a worse offender in some ways than fish or chicken?
Well, the thing is, you have the individual meats, and we know that red meat in general, higher in saturated fat, is going to increase your risk if you have too much of it for heart disease and things like that. Fish has the omega-3s, so you want to start with a better meat whenever you can, but at least you know that if you're going to have steak, you're going to enjoy it, you can at least make a marinade and prevent these chemicals from forming.
Okay, garlic.
So garlic, we know garlic. Yeah, so garlic's awesome for heart. It's antimicrobial. You hate garlic. I know. I continue to bring it. And then we have chili peppers. Chili peppers are awesome. They help to boost your metabolism. So people love that. So it helps to improve your body's fat burning capacity. Also high in vitamin C and regulates your blood sugar levels. And then we have rosemary, my friend. Of all the studies, rosemary was actually the most potent at reducing the formation of these chemicals. So whenever you can, put rosemary in your marinade. It's awesome. And then the last thing is really to utilize your cruciferous vegetables and pair your meat that you barbecue with your cruciferous vegetables, because these guys are high in these specific sulfur compounds that when you eat the two together helps to prevent any of that DNA damage to your cells. It also helps to speed up your liver's detoxification process. So if there's any of those chemicals left after your barbecue, these will take care of the rest.
Wow, amazing information. I have one final question. Does it matter if you cook the meat too long, for example? If it's well done, you get the char. Is that more risky than cooking medium rare, for example?
Exactly. It's the char. So whenever you're subjecting meat to high temperatures, the higher the temperature, the more likely you're going to get these chemicals forming. So if you can pre-cook and then sort of put it on the barbecue after, that would be better.
Olivia Rose, thank you so much.
No problem.
Amazing information. All right.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back after this.